reverse Delta?
I am live at the moment. Has my stream just gotten a huge delay?
Hmm?
Well,
Yeah, you live.
Alright. If things are ready, things are ready. Okay. Well, hi. I am Falcon. This is Unlimited Saga, the greatest video game ever made. My two co-commentators today are Chaos and HD Order.
So,
Yeah.
I'm Chaos.
You're going to be hearing Chaos a lot because we're going to be talking about Chaos and Chaos is going to be talking. But,
It's heavy.
yeah. Rough. Alright, I am ready. I am ready if everyone else is ready.
Yeah.
It's your run.
Do I just go? Or count down and then go?
Countdown? Oh, I should do the countdown. Are you at the screen to be ready?
Yeah, I'm at the character select.
Oh, start from 10.
Oh god.
10. I'll start from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go.
Alrighty, let's go. So yeah, Unlimited
Oh,
Saga.
the timer's not going.
Oh well.
Oh wait, maybe it is. Keep,
Is
keep
it?
going.
Yeah, okay. I'm confused.
Don't worry about it.
Alrighty.
Hello, I'm Judy. My grandfather
Yeah,
rents the
this
magic
is
of Florida.
the Judy
This is
scenario.
Grandpa. He'll be 77
Pretty
this year,
heavily magic
but he
focused.
still got it.
I could not tell you the story in detail, but the basic gist of it is that
Isn't she
Judy's family
gorgeous?
runs like a magic
That's
shop.
my sister.
Big
We
bad
get
guy
better
comes in
traffic from all
who
these
used to be a
guys
friend
coming
of
to see
Judy's
her,
grandfather
but she's
and
oblivious to it all.
causes havoc. And then you have to go find your family and
This
then
is
beat the
my
big
older
bad.
brother. I just don't understand why he's like
That's
this.
it. That's
Yeah, it's
like,
pretty much the gist of the story.
yeah, like,
This is my
Tell the whole story
dear,
from the
sweet
start.
well,
dad. Too bad
there's not much
he's
else we can
only
talk about.
running
This
out
game
to
is
get his
fantastic
magic.
mechanics.
Grandpa complains a lot about it, but I
The
love
wheel.
him so much.
So yeah, there'll be like, it's gonna be pretty scatterbrained. Like, there's a lot in this game, and trying to explain it in a short amount of time is hard. But the basic idea is that everything, or
This is
almost
my
everything in
mom.
this game,
When
is
she
decided
was
by
young,
a
she was
slot reel.
talented witch, and people
Um,
even said she was the second coming of the great
In
witch
some cases, the
Elizabeth
slot reel can be
Persia.
random. In battle,
Grandpa is
specifically,
very proud of
it's
her,
consistent,
but he was totally
and it's
against her
based on your
marrying
panels, which
his
is
dad.
another confusing part of the game. It's how your characters get stats. But big thing to keep note of is that slots in normal movement, like in quests, doesn't actually matter in a speedrun. And in battle, it's the most important thing in the game. But casually, slots in
Just wait for us, Grandpa.
general questing
I'll
are pretty
find
important because you want your
everything
HP to be
help get
higher.
you out of that mirror.
So you try and actually succeed at the slots, but in a speedrun that doesn't really matter. That's
Yeah,
kind
in
of...
the speed. Yeah, in the speed run, the only person who really matters is Armand.
So what I'm doing here, another thing, lovely thing, shop inventory, starting shop inventory, is random, but is always the same on console hard reset. So every run of this game, every time you want to do a run of this game, you need to reset your console to make sure you have the same shop inventory. And it differs between versions as well, which is aggravating. But there I just bought some items for crafting and to equip Kurt with for now. The character we just got was Kurt. He's some guy who was in the forest. He's not actually that good a character, but he's what we get, so...
Yeah, he has something. He has something called the Curse Gauntlet that pretty much it holds up a space and it lowers his stats.
Okay, so in this part, we just need to go north 4 times. The screen we get changes. and can be random. But, yeah, we're
this
just
is
gonna
like a force maze.
yeah. Oh man. Okay, so enemies in this game, like random encounters in this game, are kind of random but not really.
Don't get in my way.
Each enemy type has a
And we're off.
has a chance of like getting into a battle with you. So an example would be slimes have a 0% chance of aggroing and getting into a battle with you. Demons have a 170% chance of getting into a battle with you. So insects are pretty high up there. I believe they're 70 or 90. I can't remember which. So a lot of this run, like, is trying to minimize random encounters through panel usage or praying, one of the two. So, throughout a lot of these quests, I'm going to be using a skill called Eavesdrop. And that gives me a chance of getting a skill panel at the end of the quest called Aura. And what Aura does is, when it's used, it lowers the chance of enemies aggroing you by a percentage for 20 turns. So ideally I'd get Aura level 2, which would reduce enemies aggroing me by 30%. Aura level 1 can happen as well, and that's 20%. So yeah, it's just something to keep in mind, is that Aura is like going fast in this game basically requires Aura. Otherwise you just get random encounters all the time.
And the reason why something can have a greater than 100% encounter rate is because you can use Aura to reduce it, so 170% basically means that even with Aura, they'll always attack you.
Yeah. Oh, 5.
Or you'll
You need like
be relying on. Okay.
you need like Aura level 4 to get rid of 170% enemies. That's silly.
Yeah, you need like level 4 with inconspicuous panels or something.
Thanks to Kurt, I was able to make it safely through the Jade Forest.
So yeah, that was a
Oh,
boss
that dragon
fight.
turned into a bat?
He
Yeah,
must be one
familiars.
of Clyde's servant spirits.
That boss fight, most bosses in this game are just gonna be, yeah. Okay, I need to focus. This is the panel system, it's confusing.
So your stats are decided by the panels. You don't actually level up. At the end of each quest, you get these selection of panels that you place in certain slots. What stats you get is determined by what slot you use. Like the top right and right side ones determine your skill stat, for example. And also the middle one determines every stat.
And if you match the same item in same picture of the item in the same area and stuff, you get a bonus.
Yeah, panel bonuses are actually pretty important. The amount of stat increase you get is dependent on the type of panel setup you do. So joint, which is just 2 panels next to each other, gives you a small stat increase. Line gives you a medium increase, and triangle gives you a large. Building an effective triangle is pretty difficult.
Rebecca.
So what I'm going to try and do is focus on lines for 2 characters and joints for everyone else.
So yeah, the panel board is basically like playing bingo. You just gotta form lines and you get bonus stats. And for some characters, you want to build up a lot of strength, so you form a line with like punches, which give you bonus strength. And punch is a type of panel.
Yeah, this is a visual novel. A visual novel with board game elements. You'll probably hear us like joking around about this game, but like I agree casually it's not very good, but it's surprisingly deep as a speedrun. Like it's very
It's like SaGa
enjoyable.
Frontier.
Well, but finished. Yeah. So this is the next boss. This boss can deal a lot of LP damage, considering how early on he is. But it shouldn't be too bad. And there you see Armand. Armand is really annoying, but he's like the strongest character in this scenario, by far.
Judy, let Daddy handle
The reason why he's strong is because you get him early. But if you were to get her dad's, he would probably be the best character. But he comes like really late into the game, so it's like Just keep him on his gun.
Yeah. So turn order is a thing, and I'm not going to try and get into it because it's actually complicated.
Random.
I want to explain something here.
Oh, it's complicated and none of us understand it properly, I think. But
Well, the turn order is determined by the character's weight and what type of move they're using.
and the
Basically, the
weapon
type of move has an ideal distance. A dagger has a very short ideal distance, whereas a
I
gun
was
has a
able
very
to
long
see
ideal
Dad.
distance.
I fixed the trouble in the village. And
So,
everything turned
based
out
on
just
the distance
fine.
between you and the enemy, and the attack you're
How did
using,
I
and
end up
your weight
stuck
with your
with
equipment
our
determines
mom?
how fast you move in
And
the
the
turn order.
incantation back there. I didn't like the feel of that at all.
So Judy weighs like
was
nothing
that
basically, and she has a
anyway?
dagger. So as long as you put her first and then use her, she'll always go before anybody. That's why you always use Judy with a dagger as the first turn, because it means you get to attack or select an attack before the enemy gets to.
Sometimes you can have items with skills already in them. Like certain items can have magic in them already that you can forge, or they'll already come with like items that come with purify or ice
Oh,
needle.
that's bad. That's not good at all.
Hmm?
I didn't get any mullock, so I'm gonna have to come back to Saren later on. Alright,
Works. Like,
so here I'm using eavesdrop. Again, like, commentary is gonna be scatterbrained because this game moves pretty quick. So I'm using eavesdrop 5 times to build up what's called a panel history, and that's a complicated way of saying the more you use certain types of panels, the higher the chance you'll get those panels later on. So by using eavesdrop 5 times, I increase the chance I get an aura panel by a little bit, and it's worth doing.
do I have to help this kid?
Shock. Fire, no, big thrust, shock. Fire. So yeah, like different weapons are effective at different things. That's probably something I should have said earlier. So on top of Judy using daggers and being in front, which means that everyone gets turns earlier. Daggers are also, like, in addition to being quick, they're also pretty good at dealing LP damage. So Judy having a dagger so early on means that you're able to deal LP damage pretty easily.
yeah, it counts as a pierce weapon, dead, and spears. Spears are also really good, and bows.
Yeah, you'll see bows later on, because Chaos's ideal distance is weird. So bows are actually more effective than daggers.
I think the weapons that are bad at dealing LP damage, unless you have a skill learned, is on swords and axes. Unless you have like reverse delta, then it's pretty much guaranteed, almost guaranteed.
The bat's back again.
You summon the floating
And this
thing.
bat is getting sent by the scenario boss. It's the familiar of Clyde.
Yep. Okay.
And it's trying to stop you on your quest to save your family and grandpa.
So, another thing that'll happen fairly often is if Judy isn't in front, Kurt will be, or like someone using magic will be, and will try and do a combo with him. What this does is it burns through the boss's actions. So magic has a really, really long preferred distance. So the only way magic would ever go first, like quote unquote first in the turn order, would be, oh that's crap, would be if you're targeting someone out of the party, because they're in the game's mind, their distance is very far. So burn through the boss's actions so you can actually do like a level 4 combo there. We're using fire arrows. We're using fire arrows because that's really easy to get in this scenario, and it deals a decent amount of HP damage. Another thing, again, scatterbrain commentary. This game has HP and LP like most SaGa games, but the way HP and LP work in this game is very, very weird. HP, I watched a video by a guy on YouTube, his name I can't remember, unfortunately, who compared HP in this game to armor in old first-person shooters, where what it actually does is reduce the chance of getting like dealt LP damage or health damage in shooters, but it doesn't actually get rid of the damage entirely. So you could have full HP, get hit by an attack, and still use a LP, but you could also not. So yeah, HP is basically just like a buffer for your LP, which is your actual health. Your LP gets refilled at the end of every quest. LP isn't really important throughout most of the run, but it comes into play greatly in the final scenario.
Also, unlike other SaGa games, if a character dies in battle, they return once you leave the quest.
Yeah, there's no
Except for
permanent.
Judy.
Yeah, if Judy dies
except
this
for
game,
Judy.
if Judy dies this game,
Yeah.
and I know that. I've learned that lesson.
And we will later on. No, we won't.
Oh, don't say that.
You got this.
Yep. Also, enemies have aggro in this game. Like, different types of enemies aggro more than others. Like, skeletons, when you run into a skeleton, you'll immediately fight it. If you run into, like, a beast or something like that, they won't aggro that easily. If you run into birds, they'll
Kurt tried so hard to
almost
cheer
always
me up,
attack you.
and even our
If you run into
pond
goblins,
is a
they'll
little
immediately
next
attack
to
you.
me.
The ones with the mask.
Besides, I can afford to waste
I don't
my
know
time
how
being
it works,
miserable.
but they just
I
have
need
a
to hurry
high
up and
aggro.
find everybody so
Wildlings
we
are
can
like
save
90%
Grandpa.
base, insects
It's all
are,
right.
or wildlings
I
are a bit
know
lower.
I'll
I think
see
they're
Dad
70%.
again.
Yeah, I think they might
insects
be.
are
Sure I
90.
will.
Yeah, I think they might be.
Birds are like 40 or 30. Once you have aura
Yeah.
on, birds aren't that big of a threat.
But if
Until
it's
the
like
final dungeon.
skeleton, if it's like skeleton or a magic book or something like that, then it's pretty much guaranteed you'll get into encounter with them unless you have aura.
Yeah, undead and demons have above 100%, so even with aura, you will just fight them. So sometimes it doesn't even affect anything, so you're better off not casting aura because it's just a waste of time.
Okay, I need to pay attention.
Oh, I love this right here. You can actually get stuck into an infinite here.
Yep.
Like if you don't do it right, then you'll be fighting bandits forever, and there's no way you can get out of it.
So pay attention.
So it's pretty much a dick move on it because there's no way you can get out of it. Like you'll never find a boss. I tried. I was stuck here for like an hour and fighting enemy on enemy, and I pretty much just gave up.
I'm trying to think of more basics to cover before we get to crafting and all that stuff. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Most bandits have 2 LP, but these versions only have 1, it seems.
Yeah, these guys have 1 LP each, so what you do is you queue up 2 shocks, 2 quick thrusts, and you start trying to build up panel history with martial arts. Martial arts panel give the highest strength, so if you build a martial arts line with Arman, you can get him up to like 35, 36 strength really easily. And then if you make a joint panel with him, you have like 45 strength, which is crazy.
Yeah, Armand's going to be the main damage dealer for this run, so it's really important to get him buffed with both strength and skill.
Yeah, enemy HP doesn't really come into play until Chaos. Everything doesn't come into play until Chaos, basically. This entire run, barring a couple of panel choices on Kurt, this entire run is preparation for Chaos.
SaGa isn't unlike Ancient Cave, where everything just services the final boss and everything's random.
I feel slightly offended.
You don't always kill the slime.
Calling you
Also,
Saga
Kurt-
Ancient
Also, just want to say, Kurt is a terrible mage, by the way. Kurt is a really bad mage, so
Yeah.
they use him as a mage because there's really no other use for him. So, because you give him a tome later to boost his fire magic, so you'll be able to deal more LP damage from the crab boss. So, I don't know why they just do it.
So yeah, Shock is an AoE attack. I need to be careful with how many I use because we need 1 durability left on the item, which is another thing we haven't touched on. 1 durability left on the item for the final fight. Again, entire run is preparation for Chaos. Yeah, weapons have durability. It doesn't come into play outside of the bestial armlet that has Shock on it and Judy's quick thrust dagger she's using right now. The quick thrust dagger, like, there is a chance we won't be able to get copper in one of the towns coming up, And if we can't get copper, we can't make a new dagger. And if we can't make a new dagger, Judy is stuck with the dagger she has right now. So if the dagger doesn't have durability, the Titan Crab boss fight is going to take a bit. Oh, hello. That's good. Where am I going to put it? Here.
And another thing, your armor and weapons have a chance to learn a move. I don't know what's the percentage of it. It seems like you learn it faster when you get into a boss fight. But it's
Yeah, I
basically
believe there's a
random.
rating on a boss that will help with that sort of thing.
And your starting equipment is actually really good because it actually has LP protection, and that is a must for the chaos fight. If you have it, if you spark it, it's great. If not, then oh well.
Alright, so I went back to the previous town to get Mullock. Mullock is one of the most important materials in this run. Without it, we can't make the Black Axe, which is a very, very strong axe.
Yeah, it's your endgame weapon for Armand.
Yeah. So,
Strats.
yep.
So do you get any extra money, or are you basically
Nope.
stuck with your starting?
Stuck with the starting 10,000.
My goodness.
Yep.
Gotta be very frugal then.
Yep. Yeah, like Judy, the Judy run, like Judy casually you can get pretty strong. Like not as strong as you can in Ventus and stuff, but you can get pretty strong. But in a run, you are very, very limited in what you can actually do. So you get the bare minimum you need, and then you go fight chaos.
Same creepy feeling again.
Yeah, casually you would
Just
teach
like the guys in
Judy
Temptation.
Pellet, which is a really strong earth spell, and it's an AoE spell, and it's probably one of the best spells in the game.
You actually played this game casually?
Yes, I've beaten all the characters casually.
My goodness.
Of course.
I have.
So yeah, I just started playing this game last May, and I've never played casually. So
Yep.
I'm not fat.
It's not-
I'm just lovably
it's not that
drunk.
bad,
You
casual.
blind?
Okay, so again, fire arrows first to chew through his actions. Yeah, moves, like a lot of the moves you use also use up HP. So HP is just like a resource everything uses in this game.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, your MP and like your buffer for your LP. A thing I'll mention now and also mention later on, the max amount of LP damage you can do in one attack is 3. So you will see later on in the Chaos fight, and you saw it just there, like lots of red 3s floating up. And what that means is, the attack dealt the most LP damage it could. What I did.
that said, a combo can do more.
Yeah, a combo,
Yeah.
each attack in a combo can deal 3 LP damage, so you can, if you do, I'll give an example of later on, if you do a multi-shot reverse delta combo later on, you can deal a max of 6 LP damage. Also, enemies can mess you up with combos.
Enemies can combo, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, turn order is a mess. Always is. Okay, so that shopping I did before and the shopping I'm going to do now is basically preparation for the big crafting session later on in the run.
But then again, I shouldn't
Um,
worry about it. A brother is still a brother. No
I'll go
matter
into
how
why I
fat
use
he
what I
gets.
do, or why we use what we do later on.
This magic tablet
Trying.
started
Also
all
from this-
creepy craft. What
Go ahead.
on
Also
earth
from this
is
boss,
going
go
on?
ahead.
Go ahead.
There seemed to be some secret
Also
in the
from this
world
boss
of
and on,
magic that
there-
I don't know
There's a
about.
chance he can learn reverse delta on one of these fights. I've learned it on this guy twice, and that was pretty much about it. Never got it to work again.
Guessing that speeds things up a bit. So would you ever want to take a magic tablet?
No,
Yeah.
or it depends.
For Kurt just to boost his magic, but
If you
it's
get
not
it,
really
yeah.
worth it when you have,
If you get it
when
early,
you have a punch.
on Kurt, yes. Otherwise, no. because its ability growth isn't as good as some other things. And there's like lines you want to make and stuff. So yeah,
I would
like
pick the punch panel.
we've got now that we've got enough characters, I can start explaining what they do. Once I get through this. So I have 1 wood, 1 light material, 1 serpentine. Okay. Much to the sea. Alrighty, so Judy's not used much later on in the chaos fight, so I need to look at maps. But you want to build up her skill so that when she is used, she deals a decent amount of LP damage. Armand is your primary attacker later on, so he needs all the strength he can get, and if he can get some skill, that's also useful, but you primarily build him for strength. Kurt is your generic skill character, so early on we build him towards magic, so that he deals a bit of damage when using fire arrows and shock against bosses and the bandits.
Hey,
But
nice
you want him
job.
to focus on skill after that. You want to keep his inconspicuous panel, which he has in the center right slot, until you get aura, because it reduces the chance of getting into an encounter by 10%. But otherwise, because of his panel in the middle, his gauntlet panel, which cannot be removed, Kurt's just kind of bad. You keep him there because he has decent LP, and you can build him from the start of the game, but otherwise he's just kind of a not very good character. Roy is another skill character. Basically everyone except Armand is skill. So Roy has 20 LP and is actually pretty tanky, so he's pretty good, and you want to get as much skill as you can on him because he's used in the last phase of the chaos fight. The next character we'll get is Noage, I think, who's useless. We don't actually use him at all because he comes in so late that we can't build him effectively, and we already have Kurt.
Also, a funny thing about this is that if you keep fighting the same monster or keep using the same weapon, there's a chance you can either get a phobia panel or a seal panel.
Oh, it's seal weapons, yeah.
Yes.
So, seal weapon panels, there's like different types of panels, obviously. Seal weapon panels make it so that you can't use that weapon's arts, or it reduces the damage, I think. I can't actually remember.
Can't use it.
There you go.
You can't use it, period.
It's a high ability growth, so basically what that means is it increases stats fairly high, but you can't use that weapon, and once you place it down, that's it.
And you can only override it with the same amount, the same panel.
Don't want an X panel.
And I think only one character starts out with a phobia panel, and that's a phobia to undead enemies, but that's in Fence story.
I have no copper. Why? Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Solid Pharaoh to see if I can get another piece of wood and another light material. In like a normal run, you wouldn't do this, but I want to make sure things go smoothly. Oops. Is scale light?
Yeah, the most
Yes, it is.
scale.
Yeah, it is. It's low weight, so it's alright. I think. I hope.
Yeah, scale is light.
But yeah, you're at the mercy of the shops. The shop inventory changes after every successful quest, and you're 100% at the mercy of it. So what that basically means is that in scenarios with limited quests, there is a limited amount of shop refreshes, so you actually have a limited inventory. But in scenarios like Ventus, where it's just open and you can just constantly go on adventures, you can refresh the shop inventory as much as you want.
Yeah, he pretty much has access to like guild quests that nobody else has. When you try to go there, they'll be like, they'll pretty much just kick you out.
How much? So yeah, I'm using martial arts with Armand to build up panel history. Just basically giving myself a higher chance of getting martial arts panels with him. Because all the martial arts panels, like punch, throw, and kick, increase strength the most. They have a small increase on skill, but they mostly increase strength, and that's what Armand wants.
Throw animation takes like 1,000,000 years. The move that he learned is pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, different moves. We'll go into this now. Different moves have differing chances of like dealing HP damage and LP damage. So the reason we want reverse delta is because its HP damage is pretty good thanks to it being an axe move, and axe is very good at dealing HP damage, but also it has the highest chance of dealing LP damage in the game. So we get that, and it means that we can relatively consistently deal LP damage to chaos.
Yeah, it's so broken that literally every scenario is just building up an axe with reverse delta and using it on chaos.
Yeah, that's the strat. That's the go-to strat for like, if you really want to get through this game casually, like try and understand the panels and stuff, and then just get reverse delta on an axe and you can win eventually.
You call that a fight?
It's very, very overpowered.
Please.
And this entire game is just building up your panels and smithing stuff. Everything else is just how fast you can go.
Yeah.
But you want the right thing smith to fight chaos, and you want the right panels. And obviously you need to learn reverse delta before getting there.
Don't go
Yeah,
into the
ideally.
chaos fight without reverse delta, or things are going to go very bad.
Especially if you try to learn the endo on Chaos Fight.
Yeah.
And reverse delta is the level 4 ability off of an ability called time lapse on an axe. And you need a heavy axe to get time lapse easily, so you want specific materials. I'm not sure what you do with that. You just forge
Black axe.
black axe with lead.
Steel 2, iron axe. You have an iron axe already, so you go iron axe and then wood to make steel axe, and then you keep doing that until you get steel 2, and then you just combine steel 2 and mallet 2.
Yeah, we can get into that later, but steel, there's actually two things called steel. There's the common steel, which has like 59 attack, and then uncommon steel, which has 58 attack, so it has less attack. But the thing is, if you merge steel 2 with mullet 2, which is another thing you can smith, you get the most powerful material in the game. Well, up there at least. I'm not sure if it actually is.
I think there's like one other material that's also pretty good.
The most excessively powerful.
When you're on the equipment, if you keep moving like left and right when you're getting ready to forge and stuff, it can show you the chances of what item you'll get and what item you'll get if you fail.
Okay, so I need to recover. Oh, she has... How is she able... Oh, okay, whatever. I'll take it. So...
By the way, this
flash this. Quick dust. So yeah, the dagger Judy's using is now out of durability. So I basically, in random encounters now, until I get copper and can forge a copper dagger, I can't use Judy. But yeah, that was a Titan crab fight. Most of these bosses, like, the strategy is just fire like some sort of magic to get rid of the boss's actions, and then a big combo with weapons that have a decent chance of dealing LP damage. So that
It was
guy,
also just a bat.
yeah, that guy had 5 LP, dealt 3 in the first turn and 3 in the second turn. But yeah, all of the bosses, most of the bosses in this run are just bats because they're all sent by Clyde. Oh, another eavesdrop. I want something that isn't eavesdrop, please.
and before you spark a low for sword move.
So yeah, I have to keep this inconspicuous panel. I just got rid of manga, which is not good, but I'll get it with
You can always reset your panel.
I'll just get it with Ray, it's okay. Ray didn't have anything else useful.
Manga is a really good skill.
Yeah, it's surprisingly useful. It basically just discounts stuff in shops. give copper. That's a 1 ability copper. Crap. So I got light material, I got wood. Yeah, I'm just looking for two ability copper now. Oh.
Also, with forging, you want to be careful because you might, if you get a magical item like an opal or something like that, you might forge a magical axe or something. It happened to me once when I didn't really know the forge system.
So yeah, that was the world map. You just basically zoom out and go to towns you've been to already or have information on.
Yeah, the world map's really annoying because you have to zoom out to see all the towns.
Yeah, it's not great. Okay, and this is a forced cutscene.
Or you had SaGa or Vaftum.
Yeah, Vaftum. Alright, so now I'm gonna try and gather my thoughts, because...
I love this cutscene. It's pretty much a bathroom break.
So yeah, in every scenario you get a cutscene like this when you get to Vaftum. It's like the one through line for each scenario. And you get to see other protagonists in the crowds.
Yeah, crafting's
It's the one
coming up.
cutscene they made.
One of like 3 maybe. Yeah.
Can you skip this, by the way?
Yeah, you have to sit here. Crafting's coming up. Basically, this game has a crafting system. Each town, the towns can have a blacksmith, and each blacksmith is specialized in certain things. You basically just combine materials together to get a resulting weapon. Some materials have chances of making better materials or specific types of materials. So in this run, if you forge a specific type of steel with a specific type of mullock, you get Damascus, which is very, very strong.
But now it's so quiet.
The crafting system is surprisingly deep, and you can actually spend, providing you have enough materials, just spend a bunch of time here trying to get specific abilities on specific weapons. Thankfully, most of the stuff we're crafting in this run is consistent,
People watching the
barring the
memorial
black axe.
fires. People praying with their eyes closed.
Panels
Remembering the people they love.
have a specific amount, like can increase stats depending on the panel type, and can increase elemental affinity depending on the panel type.
But somehow,
Elemental affinity is kind of useless now, like to us.
in moments like
Um,
this, time
But
passes slowly.
you basically want to focus, when you're building characters, you want to focus on... I forgot that cutscenes goes really quick. You want to focus on the highest ability growth possible for the stat you want to build them towards.
Oh, the best quest is coming up.
I hate this
Best
quest.
ever is coming up.
I hate this quest. Like this
Get
game,
that hand ready.
this game you can proceed through text using the analog sticks. You don't actually need to
Where
mash.
did she end
But the quest coming up, the creepy magic tablet, is optional and has a turn limit, so you can just burn through all the turns. And that's another thing, is that side quests in this game have turn limits, whereas main quests don't, except for this one. So basically, this is like the entire rest of this game you can just mash using the analog stick, but this one quest you have to mash, and I don't like it.
You gotta match like what, 100 times or
Yeah,
something?
it's only 100. It's not bad,
She's
but
as
that doesn't
calm
stop
as
me from
ever.
not liking it.
But I suppose she just might know what she's
Yeah, they should
doing.
Probably
practice.
shouldn't run wild arms then.
Yeah,
I asked
I'm
her
good.
why she wasn't worried, but she just
I finished the
smiled
run
and
of
wouldn't
Wild Arms, I'm
answer
good.
me.
Happy now.
You managed more than 100 in a wild arm with apples. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you mashed like over like a bunch. I want to say over 1,000, but I'm not sure.
Ish.
Yeah.
Eh.
I mean, yeah, definitely over 1,000.
Okay, so I'm checking for copper here, like 2 ability copper. It's not here. Cool. Alright, creepy magic tablet.
Also, you can find a magic tablet here if you keep mashing and then move. You can move a space because the tablet moves on its own. So you can find a tablet here. You can find the piece actually.
Yeah. Probably. I couldn't tell you for sure. In
There's
regards,
meteoric iron.
yeah, in regards to expensive materials, but you can definitely forge things maybe that are not really strong but have a specific use.
Have you tried using eavesdrop like 100 times?
Oh, that'd waste so much time. That'd take 3 times as long.
I did it 20 and wasted like a million years. And I only got Aura 1.
Yeah, you're at the behest of the game when it comes to Aura. You can have runs where you don't get Aura, and you can have runs where you get Aura on like the second quest.
Ideally, you want Aura 2 or 3. Aura 1 doesn't really last that long.
Aura 1 is only a 20% decrease in enemy aggro, which is good.
If Grandpa
Like,
or
it's
Mom
10%
were
better
here,
than
maybe
Inconspicuous, but
they'd
it's still not
know.
great.
Okay.
Whereas Aura
I'd
2
better
is
get going to
30%,
find Mom.
and that greatly affects your chance of getting into battles with insects and stuff.
Michigan Wild on train you for this.
I hate it. Aura!
What's wrong with mashing? Oh, you got Aura? Nice.
That was bad. So yeah, now we have Marie. Marie is useless. Useless in this run. Because she's very magic-centric and doesn't have a lot of LP, and that's not what you want out of a character.
Nudge would be, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Nug would be so useful if you got him early. Then you
Yeah.
would pretty much ditch Kurt.
Noage doesn't have any panels you can't move. Like, you can't remove, whereas Kurt has the gauntlet panel you can't remove. So if you got Noage maybe 2 quests earlier, he would be who you use. Because you can build him as a proper skill character.
Yeah, that's the problem with having Kurt in another story, because with his level 1 panel, he's pretty much useless. But in his his gauntlet actually increases his stats as he gets to level 4. With each demon that he kills in a story sequence.
This
It's
run
random.
is already bad. I don't like it.
We'll be fine. It's
Yeah,
only one
you
thing that matters.
Finishing it, regardless if it takes 2.5 hours or not.
Pretty much. You got this.
Here we go. So I have Marie, so I can have Marie use Monga and get that copper cheaper. And I could actually, because it's a copper knife with parry, no I can't, I have to go to Gadira. So yeah, we want to forge a 2 ability copper, so a copper weapon with 2 abilities learnt. With wood or cotton. Let me actually check before I mess everything up. Yeah, with cotton. And when we do that, we get a knife with 3 abilities, except we didn't get 3 abilities. So, oh well. I just wasted a cotton, basically. Never mind. But yeah, now we go back to Longshank. This is a start of 3 quests that are very boring. But also the biggest time loss in the run. Looking for Mum Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. And I've lost. I need to look at a map because I'm bad. Okay, so these quests are just go from point A to point B quests. It's basically just going from one town to another. And you can already see auras coming in handy. It's level
nice.
1, but it's very good. Where you put panels on in the panel screen also dictates where they are in the skill screen. So putting aura in the bottom left slot is very good. Because you can just you can go into the skill screen, press R2 and then press X and you're done. You used aura. So,
And one version difference is that in the Japanese version, you have to do the field reel to cast aura, which would be incredibly annoying
This
because
sucks
the
so
field
bad.
reel is RNG heavy, so you can just fill it over and over again.
I
But
think
in the English
feels-
version, it's just an instant cast.
yeah,
so
I think the field
it's a
reel,
lot
that's
nicer.
a better way of calling it than like the field reel. There's a 50, you press X to land on a spot in the reel, right? There's a 50% chance you'll actually land on the spot you pressed, and then a 50% chance you'll land in one of the next 5 spots. And it's like a 10% chance for each spot or something like that. It's
Yeah, there's a potential drift.
it's very goofy and also like is bad because in Judy's final dungeon, there are these things called Birds of Heaven. And there's a real check right before you get into the fight, which decides whether you get into the fight or not. So if you press X to land on a good spot, like a green spot, and it drifts, you can just land on a bad spot, get into a fight, and waste like 5 minutes.
Also, there is a battle rank in this game, but it's random. I think it depends on like how many quests you fight. Like if you fight like a bunch of quests, you'll be seeing in-game enemies in Judy's final area. But if you fight in-game enemies anyway, the birds are actually in-game enemies.
Yeah, each species has a rank of enemies, and might be tied to your scenario level. I'm not actually sure. I assume it must be.
I remember just getting into a lot of quests, and all of a sudden, like a bunch of them. Bunch of enemies. I'm pretty sure it's not based off of how many fights you do. Hopefully.
Alright. Yeah, battle rank. It's not actually battle rank. It's like monster ecology or something. It's weird. It's a lot more in depth than. Like, I'll make the comparison to SaGa Frontier because I know what that is. Like, I know how battle rank works in that, but SaGa Frontier's battle rank is really simple. It just increases, and every 16 increases it goes up. Whereas this game is... This game is this game.
But at least SaGa Frontier, you can manipulate it.
Yeah, that only comes up in 2260, I think.
Yeah.
You can manipulate. Well, yeah, doing a speed run, you can manipulate it. Casually, you can manipulate it. If you want to grind in like 2 areas, the battle rank will still be low. I don't know the equation on it, but I just remember meeting like rank 2 enemies in the final area.
Yeah, this game does have an ecosystem where if you kill more plants, every other creature, or it depends, like plants will have certain associated creatures where if you kill a bunch of plants, the other types of creatures will appear more often. And the ecosystem is balanced each time you end a quest, I think. So if you kill a bunch of plants in one quest, they'll be less likely to appear in the next, and certain other types of monsters will be more likely to appear. That's how I understand it.
Meaning you can meet dragons as normal enemies.
I never
Pretty
equipped
funny.
staff on code. Oh. Didn't affect anything, but that's interesting for me.
Yeah, the SaGa series in general is more of a JP RTA crowd sort of thing, so there's not too many English runners of SaGa games, whereas they had a full-on relay for Unlimited SaGa with 4 teams.
The most deadliest. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The most deadliest enemy in this game is the tiger, because trying to deal LP damage to it is literally almost impossible. Besides the birds, who are really annoying.
So I'm gonna take crafting slow.
So is this where you're trying to get Damascus?
Yeah, I'm gonna go and buy more wood and try and find another tool ability copper so I can get an extra metal bow for Judy. Metal bows, this crafting, you're basically trying to create daggers with the parry ability on them, bows with multi-shots on them, and then the black axe. And so I'm trying to get more materials to create another bow with multi-shots and more chances for the black axe.
In a normal run where you're trying to PB and stuff, it will pretty much be a reset if you don't get the item that you need by saving Judy's mother. I forget which one it's called. I'm coming for you, Mom.
Yeah, I'm coming for you, Mom.
Yeah, if you don't get the item that you need, it's pretty much a reset.
The entire
Unless you
endgame
like-
relies on this crafting.
Yeah.
You can kind
Unless
of
you like a fun.
you can kind of like try and get away with messed up crafting, but I'm bad, so I can't.
Well,
Yeah,
unless
you want to have
fun.
as good a setup as you want for the final boss, especially in a marathon setting where
Yeah.
Everything goes wrong
you
all
want
the
to
time.
ideally finish.
Unless you want a fun chaos fight.
Oh, no.
Chaos is always fun.
fun chaos fight.
I'm not gonna get another Toad Lily Copper. Or lead. Yeah. That's a shame.
For money, what you can do is well, it's slow, obviously. Like forge a really good weapon, then give it like 99 use and then sell it for a bunch of money.
So Chaos is gonna be really sketchy. Oh, that's a crappy shop too. I just want more wood. Why can't they give me more wood?
Please, chaos is gonna be free.
You only need
it's
one
not.
piece of wood. Steal to you first try.
That happened
Yeah.
yesterday. I can't use that. I can use that. I can use that. Okay. Oh, did
Look at all
the
that cops.
SaGa relay go for 19?
The VOD was 19 hours. I didn't actually check when the last team finished. I think the first team finished around 16 to 17 hours.
Jeez. See, I'm saving here so that I can guarantee I get Black Axe.
I had to miss it sadly because I was at work.
You can watch the VOD at any time.
Yeah, I'm watching the
Over an entire day.
Alright, so
It's a
here we
good
go.
run,
Stone spear and wood. Facial staff, feather amulet. So I'm just creating parry daggers here. And then making Mullock 2. There. So now is the important part. I'm looking for a steel axe with 56 attack power.
What is the most unappreciated SaGa game? This one.
Yeah.
Obviously. Hands down, this one. Like, so many people shit on this game so hard.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Poop on this game.
Yeah. That one guy who did that YouTube video.
Yeah, this game has its problems.
That's very specific.
Whoops. This game has its problems, but is surprisingly deep and fun once you get past the very, very steep cliff.
Yeah, it's a very interesting game. It's well made for what it is.
That was dumb.
It's just 95% of the people won't like this game.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah, it's pretty much, from what people say, it almost killed the SaGa series and the West.
Yeah, Romancing SaGa Minstrel Song is very good, and not many people have played it.
They pretty much revived the series. Like, if you ask somebody what SaGa game they played, 90% of people will say the PS2 one. It's the only one I think that came over here. Besides the GB Game Boy ones.
Yes, you need at least 200 IQ to appreciate Unlimited Saga.
Yeah.
57. 57. So yeah, looking for a steel axe with 56 attack power, which means it's still 2. It's a 15% chance of happening. So we may be here for a while. This game is fun, I swear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every character is fun.
Just take your time.
Except Army.
Get that Black Axe.
Except Armic, that's right. Armic is the Ricky of this game.
Yeah.
And
One story that I will never play again. Never again. Will I do fetch quests?
57. 7.
56 means that you forge steel 2 and not steel 1, and if you forge steel 2 with Moloch 2, you get a different material, which is way more powerful. If you forge steel 1 with Moloch 2, you'll just get steel.
The crafting in this game is very good.
It's really weird.
Yeah, you'll be banging your head up against a wall, resetting. You're trying to understand. Because there's equations and all that crap.
Yeah, equations.
Well, math. Sorry.
56.
No, you're right. Oh, nice.
So there we got a black axe, and now we make the bows. And I have to be careful with this because you can make straight up useless bows if you do it wrong.
Okay, we got the black axe. That's all that matters.
Oh no, but
Well,
okay.
I'm being positive.
Won't matter until you beat Chaos.
So I haven't got a second tool ability copper, so I can't make a fourth bow, which bums me out to no end. So now I can make parry daggers, and I want 5 parry daggers in total. Oh, that's bad. That's not good. That's not good. This may be a reset.
They're not going to release a PSN version of this game. I can already tell you that.
This may in fact be a reset. No, I managed to salvage one of the daggers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two. Nah.
You did say before the Black Axe, right?
I saved. Yeah, I saved before smithing, but I didn't save after the black axe because I'm silly. So here we go again. But yeah, that like HDO was talking about a chance of getting a magic ability on a weapon you're crafting when you're trying to craft with bestial materials. That's what happened there.
Yeah. Forging a bow with fire arrow.
Why, dude? Why? Not like this is correct. Whatever. I've come to accept that this will be a train wreck, so here we go.
Still got time.
Yeah.
For now. Bestial carbon axe. Malik. Axe.
This did remind me of Ithere's forging at RPG Limit Break.
Where everything went wrong at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this forging of this game is like Star Ocean 3's. It pretty much backfire hard. You can talk about how fun of a boss Chaos is, because you're pretty much going to be focused on him.
Well, I think you'll like drop out of commentary briefly there.
For me.
Or am I sure we're doing that? Not you, Falcon.
Yeah, I'm gonna just mute my mic and concentrate during that fight.
So we will have plenty of time to talk about it, but we'll give the color commentary for the chaos fight as it unfolds.
I have my
You don't want to
2-page
spoil it too much.
Yeah, I have my 2-page essay on how good that fight is.
You could, like, actually create a multiple-page essay on that fight.
Yeah, because that boss and his mechanics is just weird. And the reason why he exists is weird.
Oh, the story behind him is silly.
Yeah, apparently he's the embodiment of the 7 wonders.
And I guess the scenario boss becomes chaos. I'm not sure if it depends on the scenario.
I think it does it for all of them. I think basically all of them attain the power of chaos, but can't control it. So I guess chaos takes over their body and just becomes chaos, and chaos just gains all of their abilities.
I love this
I think
game.
there's only one person who survives 2 people who actually survives being turned into chaos or being brought back. There's Kurt's brother and the guy from Armor Story.
Does another like raccoon or whatever become a chaos in that one?
No, it's a human. Everyone else dies that turns into chaos. Well, no, I take that back. There's another lady in Kurt's.
Isn't which one was that I was watching? Ruby? Does the one survive
that's
in
her.
Ruby?
Yeah, that's her, that lady. She survives. I think.
I'm being a big baby and saving off the Black Axe.
No, that's the right call. That's what I'm gonna do. Alright, we got the Black Axe, now we just gotta get the supplemental materials. I almost said that right, but... supplemental. And you basically need a second-hand weapon to go in the second weapon slot that has a parry move. Some scenarios use swords, others use daggers, depending on which blacksmith you're using.
That's not good.
Also, another thing, if you beat all characters, you get the I think it was the special Japanese ending or something like that. I think you get
Is there
that.
an actual special ending?
There's credits.
Yeah, that's the credits. You get the credits after beating all characters.
Isn't
The
that
credit
special?
song is very good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Much like the later battle themes in this game are very, very good.
I should note that when I do my elk scenarios run, it will be no system data,
Wow.
because it's impossible, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is impossible.
Copper knife.
Well, you pretty much be doing the same thing in all stories. Black Eggs,
From,
Kill
yeah,
Boss.
you'll just be doing
go.
each scenario.
I can only think of 2 like roadblocks you'll probably come across. Most final boss is like really, really bad and hard. Even casually, he's hard because he has the power of the Knights of the Round Table, and the Knights of the Round Table fight is not really that good at all because it's pretty much a 3-on-1 fight.
Yeah, I think I saw a bit of that.
It's not really that good, and plus you gotta know what you're doing for that fight too,
Well, I'm screwed then.
because you gotta it's a certain kind of manip they do to make like shaving off LP from them easily. Because I know you can't take LP off them that easy without manipulating something.
There we go.
Alright.
Finally.
We have to no longer kill time.
Yeah.
But yeah, all those scenarios I was watching, they all seem somewhat unique. Of course, they all end in the same place where you just want to spam reverse delta.
Yeah, like the
It's
goal.
the journey, not the end.
The goal of every run is to get reverse delta, but the way you get there changes pretty drastically, because on some other runs, you get a lot of money, so you can actually make pretty good weapons in between.
Yeah, Laura, you get a lot of bank, so
Whereas Judy's
maybe
just
not as much as some.
broke all the time.
Kid just got her allowance.
Got a 10,000 whatever the currency is in this game, and then spend it all
I have no
away.
idea what it's actually worth.
So now that we have bows, we're not going to be using daggers anymore. I didn't equip anyone.
Having a
Just
punch.
use that.
Yeah, time to punch and kick the insect.
Yeah. Ideally, you want to use everybody in your party if you have equips to have them learn moves.
Another thing, your HP, max HP increases at the end of every scenario, and it depends on how many actions people use in the scenario. So now that we have all the equipment, we're gonna start switching out who we use to get everyone HP. Metal bow. And cloth
Whose
armor.
story is not complete. I will argue that on with you. The story has a bunch of plot holes.
Every story has a bunch of plot holes.
Yes. Like you don't even know the guy who's out there until you play Emilia's story, but even Emilia's story doesn't go in depth on who that guy is. You only meet him once.
Let's not trash SaGa Frontier on a non-SaGa Frontier game.
I'm not trashing. I love SaGa Frontier. I grew up with
Who's
it.
going in there?
Alright, so yeah, demons, even with Aura level 2 equipped, or Aura level 1, sorry, even with Aura in general, demons are so aggressive that you can't actually escape from them. So I'm going to start using Rory a bit to increase his HP. Maybe this run will finally get back on track, maybe. Right before endgame.
But it's already back. You already forced all your weapons, so you're pretty good.
I just have to hope I get panels.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't order your way through it. Normally, I guess some of the Japanese runners just don't care anymore and just use aura throughout the entire game and get really bad panels and stuff and just tackle chaos with whatever they got.
Yeah, but they're good.
Yeah. I like how you said things that they're good.
Like, I'm not gonna be humble, I'm not very good. Like, I'm okay. But they have years of experience when I don't.
No.
Well, yeah, there are some. But let's
I've
not
seen
trash
some of
runners.
that relay.
Yeah, let's not trash other runners. But yeah, there are some Japanese players that can get themselves in very bad situations and salvage it really well.
Well, yeah, they've been playing the game for like, what, 3 to 4 years? Since the game came out?
And then there are some runners
Yeah,
that
3
don't
years
do
ago.
that.
Shoot, anybody can get good if they played their speed game for 3 years, I think. Well, no, I take it back. I've been playing SaGa Frontier for like 3 or 4 years, I'm still bad.
Yeah, getting good at this game, like in a speedrun setting, is just getting good at chaos. Like knowing what you can get away with and what you can't.
The annoying thing about this is that timing, like, the Japanese runners are so good with timing, like timing 2 reverse deltas into a bow. Like, it requires skill.
You could write a master's thesis on Unlimited SaGa, but I unfortunately did not know.
Yeah.
Like, this game has a lot. I have like a page Word doc on like 2 phases of chaos alone, and even that's super simplified.
I just have one thing to kill boss.
Pray. Hope boss dies.
Yeah, it's pretty much it, just pray.
Like, we joke around, but chaos is actually... There is a lot going on in chaos.
He's probably the most difficult boss in the series.
In a
Well,
speedrun
one of
setting, 100%.
I mean, the egg is also bad if you don't kill any of the elemental lords. You're also when he was like a 10 to 5%. What's fun about this game is that you can YOLO chaos and still
Oh, you
what happened.
idiot. Thankfully I can fix that mistake. Yes, I want to redo
Override order or
changes. Yes.
Classic.
Pro strat.
Pro strats just override aura and then pray afterwards.
What's our favorite enemy design in game? You mean like how the enemy works? Chaos is the most interesting thing about this game. Everything else is kind of whatever.
I like Ventus final boss how he works, because he's pretty much a gimmick boss. All of Ventus bosses are pretty much a gimmick. And Ruby.
Favorite enemy design, like, I think Chaos. I just know Chaos too well at this point, and just really like him as a boss encounter.
Thank you.
Because he's random.
Yeah, you're a great boss designer. You SaGa Chaos. Thank you for messing up every single one of my runs.
No problem.
It's him, destroy your runs. But you can have the best run ever, and then when you get Chaos, you like that.
Yeah, Catclaw, who, like, whose notes basically helped me learn this game. He's, like, had a run where he was 20 minutes ahead of Chaos and then just died.
He streamed?
No, it was on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It was in one of his descriptions. I just found it funny. Because I was just like, yeah, I could totally 100% see that happening. You can have a really good, like, early and mid game and then Chaos just ruins you. Well, aesthetically I'm not actually sure. I'd have to have a look at the other scenarios. Like the other scenario final bosses, but mechanically 100% Chaos. Like his wings opening and closing, HP carrying over between phases.
Using every boss moves.
Yeah, using story final bosses moves, the way his actions work in final phase.
That's probably the most not complete thing about them. They don't really go into depth on like what Chaos said. You pretty much have to read the anthology comic to know. What he's about and stuff, and it pretty much centers around Ruby, because ideally she's canonically the main character because she meets everyone along her journey, and she fights almost all of everyone's bosses. Except I think Judy's.
And Ruby Scenario also has this crazy skip that's only in the Japanese version.
Yep.
7 wonder skill. Why I just
So-
picked it.
Luckily, I think the Relay used the non-skip version.
Check that out.
We're just climbing in a tower here.
Yeah, we're just trying to get to Judy's mum.
How many floors does this place have?
I think 6 total, but we only got to the 5th.
For all the enemy slimes here?
No,
Oh, I
there's
guess.
demons as well. And birds. Okay,
I'm always
I should have forgot one.
I never pretend.
So here we use hammer instead of time lapse. You can use time lapse and try and spark reverse delta. But if you have hammer on the axe you forged, you use that because it deals more HP damage, and the primary reason to use axe at all in this fight is HP damage. Because the Elder Dragon has a lot of HP and you want to get that down so the bows can start dealing LP damage.
Yeah, dragons in this game are pretty high level enemies. There's red, blue, and obviously silver. I think that's the only colors. I think blue is the first tier, red is the second tier, and silver is the third tier.
So now that we've gotten his health down a bit, we only use 2 hammers this turn, and we switch over to Judy using multi-shots. Get more LP damage in,
Also-
basically.
Funny thing about Shadow Arrow actually can has a chance of instant kill.
I wish that worked on Chaos.
Nah, that'd be too easy.
I like the voice of Viking. That image in my head is very funny.
At
But yeah, he's just
Now
a
we can go
fat
save
kid who eats a
Grandpa.
lot.
Better get back home.
Ironically, his weight is
Hold on,
always 0
Grandpa.
no matter what he has
We're
equipped.
almost
Yeah,
there.
ironically, like, Roy is actually really dexterous, really quick.
Alright, now you can save Grandpa.
Yeah. Are we going to save Grandpa Chaos?
I hope.
We're gonna
I
save
guess you
Grandpa.
do, no matter what. Then we'll see what happens after that.
Bow arts is good. I just don't know where to put it. So... Oh, Roy's built really bad this run. I'm not happy about that.
They really screwed you over with panels.
Yeah, like, I've listened to early game Unlimited SaGa music so much that it's just kind of like, okay, cool, but late game stuff is really good.
I wouldn't have to go this far, but I'm running out of time.
So yeah, Clyde's implying that now he's gonna, Alright, I'm gonna do something silly. I'm gonna lose even more time for safety.
I thought you were going to say YOLO.
I'm gonna try and find a 2 ability copper real quick.
Wow.
I'm not that ballsy. Because I still have another serpentine, so if I can find a 2 ability copper I can make a metal bow real quick. Or like lead, because I have enough money for lead as well. And I still have manga with Marie. Copper. Oops. My bad. So yeah, there's only 4 towns to check for 2 ability copper. Gadira, Vafton, Longshank, which you go along the way, and then Wanda, which is right at the end. Of like the smithing trip. So yeah, if this was a PB attempt, like this run would have died a while ago.
Dumpster
Because
fire, right?
I didn't get enough items going in the Wanda.
Fun fact, your run can be like really bad and then get to the chaos and have a perfect chaos fight and just PV.
Yeah, like, the end of the day, nothing matters until you beat Chaos. Like, your run can be, like, ahead, behind, it doesn't matter, because if you beat Chaos, that's good. You may be behind because you had a really bad run in the mid-game, but if you beat Chaos, it's a good run. Like, a lot of the time save throughout the game is dependent on aura, like just dependent on random encounters and shop inventory. And then endgame is like, were your pieces of paper spawns good, which I'll talk about in a bit. Was your chaos good? Did you spark reverse delta early?
Oh, those birds. Yeah, the final area.
So I'm gonna
That
save.
area.
I'm gonna save.
Fun fact, you actually have to go through the area and purchase store.
Oh god.
And you actually, and the same thing happens. You can trigger the birds.
This is the first instance of the party selection screen in this run, the only instance as well, because you can only take 6 party members to Judy's final dungeon when you visit this, otherwise you can take 7. But because you're saving Grandpa, you're saving Joseph, you need to have a slot in your party open for Joseph.
When you look at it up close, but we'll be
So you can only take 6, which makes the dungeon a bit more difficult casually. In the speedrun you just like skate through all the random encounters, it's okay.
Yeah, when you get Joseph, he's not really that good.
He's okay in the run, but that's mostly because he has HP and everyone else doesn't.
And he weighs a ton, can rescue people.
And then when he dies you can't rescue him.
Yeah, that's the double-edged sword. I hate that. That's why I always make sure he's the last person to act.
Alrighty. Yeah, if you beat Chaos at all, it's a good run, regardless of game. Alright, now I need to get my pieces of paper map open. So the gimmick for this dungeon is that Grandpa's like got a spell to escape out of the mirror dimension. And he's put it on a piece of paper and split that piece of paper up. You find one at the beginning of the dungeon, you need to find the other 4. There's one per screen. It's in set locations, like here, that's an enemy. It's in set locations, but what location it's in, like there are set locations on the map, and what location it's in is random. If a random chest cannot spawn at the same location the piece of paper is, and that'll come into play later. And that's basically it. This entire dungeon is just trying to find those pieces of paper and dodging enemies while you're at it. When you file for a blender tablet, I don't think a blender tablet's ever used. Like, magic takes too long.
Yeah. Takes way too long. And then the thing about it is that you have to actually get the tones.
Oh, okay. 2 encounters in a row. Go me. So yeah, if there's multiple enemies, you just use random arrow shot. Because it targets all. It's not as accurate, but it's still good. Yeah, what Kurt just did then was a parry, and that's the only reason we make those daggers we did. Daggers, shields have a variable evasion rate that has a whole lot of stuff going on that I don't know about. But daggers, staves, and swords have set evasion rates based on their parry, block, and deflect abilities. Daggers have a 29% parry rate, I believe. Staves are the next highest, and then swords are the best, I think.
Yeah, dagger's 29, sword is 33, and staves are 31.
Oh, I almost swore. You'll see.
So
You'll see why.
That 2, I think. Actually 3. That 3. Oof.
So yeah, the reason I'm using Bone Crusher and Time Lapse, Bone Crusher, I want to spark as many Bone Crusher arts as I can before Chaos, so that when I use it in Chaos, I'm not sparking arts, I'm not actually getting the strength down effect I want. And Time Lapse to get reverse delta.
you want to be careful on your X uses. It happened to me where I just ran out.
I've never had that happen, but I don't want to jinx it.
Because you forge a black axe, you'll have plenty of durability.
Yeah. I mean, you can forge a bunch of durability with any eggs. But these guys right here trying to spark on them.
I hate these birds so much.
Yeah. I remember your first run with these birds in a race.
Oh, my first blind run.
Yeah, blind run.
Alright, yeah, the birds have 2 OP, I didn't spark reverse delta. The thing with the birds is that the slot, the reels that come up, increase in difficulty the more birds you fight. So I fought the 1 bird encounter, so now I'm going to be fighting the 2 bird encounter next. Or that's the real 7 is the max.
Yeah, fun.
So I'm hoping I don't mess up too much. I don't want this to be that big a train wreck. I was only expecting Chaos to go bad, not everything else.
SaGa run going hop.
Yeah, right. Okay, so the second and third rooms in this place, we're going to be using a spell called Detect Gold that basically detects if there's any currency around. And if we see something pop up, that means that we don't have to go to that location because there might be a piece of paper there. There will be a random chest with gold in it. Nothing popped up there, so we unfortunately have to go everywhere. And yeah, enemies can interrupt your combos, which I I find very strange. I guess I understand why it happens, but it's weird.
It's a bad, in my opinion, it's a bad mechanic. SaGa Frontier 2 does this as well, and it's really bad. Like, there's literally no meaning to it.
Oh, it happens in SaGa Frontier as well.
Yeah. Well, no.
Yeah, but you don't combo with the enemy. Like,
Yeah,
they
you
just
don't
interrupt
combo
your
with the
attack.
enemy.
That's the thing that
Yeah, they just
gets
make
me.
the combo not happen.
It
This
feels-
way is a bit better because you still get the bonus.
And they get the bonus too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If anything, Chaos benefits more. Which is bad.
Well, when you're doing the final, like, attack, it kind of benefits you more because you're going to die anyways. So at least you get the bonus combo stuff.
Oh, yeah, and
Like
that's
I
in
said,
that
'cause
in that case, yeah, I agree. But I don't know, just doesn't gel
Like
with
I
me.
like how you said, because you're gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
You're saying someone with 5 LP out there with Chaos Final Form, you're not going to last.
Poop. Poop.
Good job. Suppressing that Australian in you.
Oh, it comes out sometimes.
Two birds.
Next it'll be 4 birds.
And 5, and 6, and
Oh, it's
7, and
4. It
start.
goes from 4 to 7. It escalates very quickly.
It's called Anchorman.
Dude, just wait until you get to that crystal. You're gonna have so many good moves.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I'll
you
get
will
level
have
2 panels.
Might even get level 4.
Oh, I don't know. If I get into a fight with a 4 bird encounter, sure. When I get into a fight.
Level 4 bow count.
So, there's 2 ways to approach this final dungeon in a run. One way is to use the Tetraforce, and when you're playing it that way, you don't really care about your LP in these encounters, which is why I'm keeping Roy out, because his LP doesn't matter because it gets fully healed later. But if you're trying to go very fast, you'd skip that Tetraforce, which means you'd have to play, you'd have to play this dungeon a bit differently. The good thing about the story final boss going into Chaos is that your HP is healed to max, and your LP is healed by half your max. So, using Roy as an example, he has 20 max LP. If he goes down to 9 LP in the Clyde fight, for whatever reason, when he goes into the Chaos fight, he'll have 19 LP.
I did not know that. It's actually good to know.
Yeah, I found that out yesterday.
Because I've been pretty cavalier with my reversed LP user in the scenario final boss, but that explains why they always use a secondary hero.
Yeah, like the way to fight Clyde is to use Roy first and try and Spark Bone Crusher Arts, and then once he's down to like 13 LP or so, you switch to Kurt or Thomas, and basically just make sure that he doesn't go below 10 LP. It doesn't really come up if you've learned Reverse Delta already, but if you're learning Reverse Delta on the Clyde fight, you need to be pretty careful with your tank's LP.
Why do we learn there again? I hate learning it on that fight.
Because it's quick. That's the
I
reason.
know. I just hate learning on it. Because he deals so much damage,
Yeah.
and he deals status elements. He has a really high chance of dealing status elements. Some that are deadly.
Clyde uses only magic and one like physical, quote-unquote physical attack. And his magic deals a lot of HP damage and will eventually just deal 3 LP damage every hit if you're not careful. And his arrows attack just is a very strong attack when it comes to LP damage. Also,
Regular
yeah,
shot attack.
welcome
Regular
to
shot attack kills damage.
Welcome to you, SaGa, where we just press square and hope we get reverse delta. SaGa games are cool. Yeah, no, these aren't trash mobs. They're like a special mob you fight in this dungeon that are actually pretty difficult. They only have 2 LP, but they have like 4,000 HP or something.
1,000 HP.
They have a lot of HP. Hey, reverse delta? Oh. Damn. I need backstab. But yeah, the strategy for these fights is just hold, like, do combos and hope you get reverse delta. And then be good at the real next time so you don't get into a full bird encounter. Go for reverse delta because it's the strongest attack in the game.
Yeah, it has crazy HP and LP damage. And it has multiple attacks because you split into 3. What's the spark rate on Birds of Heaven?
You'd have to look that up because I don't know.
Yeah, just like an equation or something.
I might have the information in like an Excel, Japanese
Bird of
Excel.
Heaven spark rank is 7.
Or is that bad?
So that's good.
Okay.
You should have sparked by now.
Oh, nothing new about that. I had like a 6-turn Clyde fight once because reversed. I nearly killed Clyde with time lapses because I couldn't spark reverse delta. So yeah.
You learn first delta on the final boss.
So how many floors does this stuff in your head?
4.
Which one's the
Lost a pound or two doing that.
3. So I have a full floor.
And the best thing about that thing is go back to it after fighting a couple of encounters.
Yeah, the first time I think you need to reduce everyone's LP by 10%, then at
Yeah.
20%, and so on.
Shit. Not good.
Bird thing didn't happen.
Bird thing didn't happen, but the Delta Spark thing didn't happen. After all that time.
You know what that means?
4 bird
Learn on the
fight.
final boss.
4 bird
No,
fight,
Do
dude.
alive.
No four bird. Unless you feel like sitting there all day trying to spark.
I don't feel like doing anything.
Still got time.
The game decides. I've still got time for a 20-minute chaos fight. And then another 20-minute chaos fight.
No, for
Or
sure.
a free chaos fight.
I don't want to do this. Can I just not do this? I just got a bird encounter.
Oh god.
Oh, I didn't get into it, but I had the bird roll.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I thank you
because
personally for not getting that fight.
Yeah,
you don't want to.
minutes after my previous bird fight. So yeah, third and final screen. I'm gonna... I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Right.
It's gonna be Laura. Find a piece of paper and
Do it.
solve the stack.
Don't.
Can't get a bird encounter.
Sorry.
Hate to see this kind of thing happen.
What is there to talk about while you play with birds?
Good news is once you spark reversed out to these fights should go a lot quicker.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but-
once I spark reverse delta, these fights are easy.
Funny thing about that.
Armand panel is going to be amazing. I just know it. He has to have some good panels after fighting all these birds.
Actually, there's an Arctolad mobile game coming out really soon. So yes, they are bringing it back.
I'm kind of salty about that they're bringing it to mobile.
There's the Fantasy
Oh,
Star
they were
mobile
coming
game
up
too.
with it.
Hey, I sparked it. Everyone get excited.
Nice, nice.
I did it. It was
You don't
all.
have to give up hope just
It,
yet.
it was all me. It was 100% skill. It wasn't completely random at all.
What they call RNG manipulation.
Yep, just get into
Pure
fights
intelligence.
repeatedly.
Oh yeah, I bet you might want to check how many uses of your X you have low after fighting
Oh.
all these birds.
Oh, actually, I was gonna say I might have 50, but no, I think
Yeah, that's the reason why I said you can run out of X uses here because of stuff like this.
Fair enough.
you know what? This might be run over, dudes.
Please don't. No way.
Gotta die to chaos at least.
Already? This might actually be run
Wow.
over. That,
You ran out.
yeah, that might actually be run over.
You're supposed to prove me wrong.
My bad.
Oh yeah, they did announce a date for the Arctolad game. No one for welcome.
It's just a port or it's just a remake?
It's a gacha game.
Oh.
Yeah, this is like actually a run over.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
quick fix.
You have anybody with a blacksmith skill?
Alright, chat's catching up. Yeah, we're saying if you don't finish, you have to learn all the stories.
That's not happening.
I'm glad I didn't make a ridiculous goal. I thought about it. I was gonna say I learned all stories from Minstrel Song.
That's silly. It's like 20
It
hours.
is.
That's
It's
more.
more than 20 hours.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-day grind, but each story will probably take around 10 to 9 hours.
So, like, I actually can't finish this run, so I either mercy kill it or load a save.
I thought save.
It's kind of up to, I don't know who it's up to. Yeah, I can't actually complete it.
This is why the birds are the best enemies ever. You can actually run out on them.
Well, it's never happened to me. Here's my marathon never happened before moment.
Now I'm not alone. Somebody's happened too.
Gotta die to chaos, though. Check for quick fix.
Yeah, at least let it die to chaos.
I'm not sure what quick fix
I can't get into chaos. I can't kill. I can't kill
Can't
Plague.
with bow.
I can with
can't with
bows.
bows.
Yeah, I could show
Yeah.
off chaos at least.
You can
Broken
actually
weapon.
make it-
Broken weapon killed it.
You can make it through some of the forms with bows. Bows do pierce damage. Just
See,
it's just
here's the
slow.
birds. Here's the 7 birds. I just pointed into my TV screen. That's why commentator Chaos hates birds.
7 birds.
Yeah, I
birds
made
I've
sure
seen
this
is
run was a
going
training
down.
wreck to make sure everything was ahead.
Yeah, it's nice that you died here and not on chaos. It's not drawn in. So what's the plan from here?
It's kind of up to, I don't know, whoever's in charge of this, if they want me to load a save. Because I have a save prepared. So if you want me to do that, I can do that.
I'm in charge.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, might as well.
Alright, is Chaos in charge? Is that what?
Load a
Yes,
save.
I vote chaos for in charge. Load to save.
Alright.
Load to save.
It's completely go off the rails here.
You're completely arbitrary. It's a SaGa marathon.
At least-
Everything has to go wrong. So
Yeah. At least
be
die to
pretty
chaos. Or beat him.
I'll just show you the panels I got. By the way, you were completely wrong. I didn't get any level 3 panels.
Eh.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna...
Seamless.
I'll finish
You'll
this.
save and then load.
Yeah. I'm just placing
All those
whatever
bird
panels.
fights.
And I'll load up
All
my
those-
pack to save. So I can show you guys.
Hold on. Something's coming in from the earphone.
What?
Don't worry about it. Keep
Okay.
going.
Alrighty.
The big cheese was typing.
Oh.
Ooh, big Wong balls.
I'm not fighting 7 birds. So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Save. Yeah, birds are 100% jerks. Birds of heaven suck.
Yeah. You can probably beat him if you use random arrow. Spam a random arrow.
So yeah,
Yes.
panels are obviously set up differently. Don't get into a bird fight the moment you load a save, please. So yeah, that was the 3rd one, this is the 4th one. The 4th screen, I should say.
Super. It's kind of delay on my end.
That's no surprise.
I'm seeing them on 2 birds.
So like magic, he saved and loaded the same file, and his axe is all good again.
So nothing happened.
Yeah, I didn't fight 4 birds and run out of axe charges at all.
Yeah. You also didn't encounter 8 birds.
What was this?
Yeah, I didn't see the mythical 7 birds and almost died on it.
8 bird. That's a really.
Yeah, redemption marathon of like everything that went wrong.
And yeah, I'll give Chaos one good attempt here.
Yeah, like,
Should take the remaining 20 minutes, I imagine.
oh, is there 20 minutes left?
We're at 141 at the moment.
Okay, yeah, I'll give Chaos one good shot and then we can move on. I'll show off the boss at least. But yeah, next year, SaGa 2019, announced right now. It's not actually announced, don't believe me. But yeah, next marathon I'll be better prepared for it for sure. So yeah, we're just going around trying to find the last piece of paper basically. The thing about birds is they appear like every 14 actions or 17 actions or something, like 17 turns. And that's why they appear so often. So if you get into a lot of random encounters, you're going to encounter birds more often, basically, because they're tonal pass. Birds suck. That wasn't a ninja, that was an insect. The insect just threw shuriken.
There's a ninja insect.
Okay.
By loading save, you did RNG manipulation.
Yeah, RNG manipulated aura on a completely different character and a black axe that isn't
Yeah.
broken. Yep.
So that means chaos is gonna go smoothly.
Don't say that.
Well, it doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah, but I want it to go well.
No, fair enough.
It'd be nice after this.
No, I'm saying.
Okay, so yeah, Clyde, we've like this file. Oh, I just won't say this file. We've learnt reverse delta already. So what we're trying to do is spark offs off Bone Crusher.
Even with women and children, I show no
Mercy.
mercy.
And here you can see Clyde dealing 3 OP damage on the first attack. The Chaos music is phenomenal.
Yes.
It's so good that you will pretty much hear the theme for like 10 to 20 minutes.
And it's so good that when you get frustrated and want to punch a hole in your wall because Chaos is a really annoying boss, music will just like make it so that doesn't happen.
Just throw my controller against the wall.
Yeah, we're all in that SaGa speedrunning Discord, so if you have any questions, we can answer them for you. Somewhat.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We know everything about this game.
Yep. Same thing with SaGa. Well, with SaGa Frontier, it's actually true at this point. We actually know a fair amount about that game, but
No one knows everything about that game.
well, yeah, there's mysteries. It will forever stay mysteries, like all the devices and the attack types and.
Y'all do. I try not to leave it. Try to leave it alone. I just call it random.
But yeah, if you have any questions, like for
Pretty formulas.
real, like we will actually help you out. The more people who can run SaGa games, the better. We're a helpful bunch. We may shit on SaGa Frontier a bit too much. We may poop on SaGa Frontier a bit too much, but
Forbidden spell.
The goal is to
Maybe
be
5. I think that's 5.
The goal is to have a full leaderboard of SaGa Frontier runs.
yeah, that's probably fine. My bad.
It's only like 4 on you.
That's only mostly me. Alrighty, I'm gonna mute my mic. Chaos and HDO, have fun trying to
Yay.
So,
describe this
we're
thing.
going into a chaos fight. This will be
Pure
fun because
RNG
we'll have like a
fun.
20-second delay.
Yeah. I'm to the part where he's just getting into it.
Okay, I'll refresh the stream.
Refresh too. I'm on his screen. He's
Okay, yeah, it's just saying we can fight now. So Chaos is a boss that has 4 different phases. The first phase has 20,000 health and 26 LP. It's the longest phase in the fight, but also the safest because he only has 3 attacks he can do. Well, he can only do 3 attacks per turn. He has a pretty varied move list. And his move list changes depending on whether his wing is open or not. When his wing is closed, you do less damage to him, but the moves he uses are less damaging. The move that you don't want to see the most is Seal of the Abyss, I believe it's called. No, that's the one that paralyzes a single person. For the first phase, that's the one you don't want to see. Overkill is
I mean that attacks everyone on the field. That I think what it's called it's a fire type move he has that attacks everyone on the field.
Oh, Breath of Chaos. Curse Blade is the one you want to see because it does the least damage. Has the least chance of doing LP damage. And what he wants to do is buff Armand, I was going to call Armand, and use reverse delta every single chance you get. You use 2 characters before using Armand because if you use Armand as the 3rd person, you'll be placed in the 2nd row, and the 2nd row is a lot less likely to be targeted than the 1st, which will be occupied by the first 2 people. And in general, having more people on the field means that the single target attacks will be less likely to hit or focus on a single person.
I really don't like having Judy like being exposed to battle, I pretty much just use her on the last phase.
Yeah, if you're gonna use your scenario character before like the final Yoro, let's kill this boss, it's best to use them on the first phase just because of the limited number of attacks. It's the safest.
I get paranoid.
You gotta have faith in your characters.
Like there was a time where she got a status element and then stay on the field and just got completely wrecked.
How much LP does Judy have?
Huh? She was what? 10? Is it 10?
Sure. Yeah, it's 10.
Pretty sure it's 10. Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's not pretty.
Pretty
It's not
close.
like the worst ever.
Nah, it's not.
So yeah, generally you want to combo a bow into the reverse delta because that increases the combo rate and does way more damage. It also increases the number of attacks in the single combo, which increases the odds of doing LP damage. And the move you want to use with the bows is multi-shot because it attacks the enemy multiple times. The base skill it uses is double shot, and the level 2 ability is triple shot, and double shot hits twice, triple shot hits 3 times. So if you get triple shot, it means it's more likely to do LP damage, as well as be slightly stronger. And because he has a black axe, he's doing a lot of damage. You can go into this fight with a steel axe, and without the weapon blessing and all that, you'll do a lot less damage. It won't necessarily make the fight way faster. It makes it more consistent.
And most people normally go with that anyway because like if you don't get the black axe on your first try and stuff, you pretty much just stick with what you get.
And the RTA attempt, you try, and then if you don't get it, you just keep the steel axe. It's not the hugest deal ever, but it's just way more likely to succeed if you have the black axe. And you'll notice that sometimes the enemy will go and then he will use reverse delta. That meant the enemy will hold the attack, and the enemy was trying to form a combo, but he interrupted his combo. So we get the combo bonus, but he also does. So it's kind of a double-edged sword when you interrupt one of his holds. Judy's Chaos has a really low rate of holding as compared to some other Chaoses. Like, depending on the move, in some scenarios there will be like a 45% chance of holding it, which means that Chaos will be more likely to form combos. And just like when we form combos with multiple attacks that have a higher likelihood to do LP damage, the same is true for the enemy. So if the enemy has a high combo rate, it's way more likely to do LP damage to you. So that's the one good thing about Judy's Chaos, is that there's not a whole lot of combos that you have to deal with.
You just have to deal with his magic, which is annoying.
Yeah.
And the fact that he has Ice Needle.
What's the unique ability he gets in Judy's scenario? Do you remember? I can look it up.
Yeah, I know he gets a unique skill. Each chaos gets a unique skill. I know this one has a unique one.
Yeah, each Chaos gets one ability from the scenario boss. So in Lores, it gets one ability from Daigle boss, Dog God. Look up really quick what Judy's gives.
I think it's that Purgatory move that's off, that on fire mode. Because Chaos can use it too.
So it gives Void Walker, which is a single target medium damage with a chance to confuse. And any status effect isn't great. I think Confuse isn't that big of a deal, it just adds question marks to the battle reel. But if you're good at the reel, the question marks don't matter because the question marks are always in the same place on the reel, which means it will never cover the reverse delta panel. So as long as you don't get thrown off by the fact that some of the colors are different on the battle reel, then it won't be a big deal. I'm not sure if there are any other adverse effects that Confuse gives. He's still on the first phase, right? Okay, so the first phase, as we said, is the longest. The good thing about phase 2 and 3 is that you'll only recover health if you've done over 10,000 damage, and even so, he'll only go back to 10,000 health. If you remember, the first phase starts with 20,000. So even after the phase shift, you'll be pretty much immediately doing more LP damage. And the second phase has 16 LP, and the third phase has 11. So if you're really good with the reverse deltas, those phases will only last a couple turns each.
You can actually one around the third phase, which is ideally what people try to gun for. To be
if you get a bit of... If the phase changes beforehand, I think it's way more likely. Because if the phase change happens at the end of the turn, and you have with 3 reverse deltas to do 11 LP, so it's really unlikely you have to combo with the triple shot most likely. So we're going into the second phase.
The problem with the third phase is that if you don't kill him fast, he'll use overkill and all of his other moves that he would use on his last phase, and you don't want to see that this early.
So we use Bone Crusher again with Roy, and Bone Crusher lasts as long as the enemy is alive, but the phase change counts as an enemy change, so the Bone Crusher will have to be reapplied. The problem with using Bone Crusher is that there's a chance to spark a separate ability that will reduce like endurance or magic, and Bone Crusher reduces his attack, which is what you want, because it makes his attacks do less than 399.
Oh god. Armand.
Okay. Reducing it to no. Okay, that wasn't as bad. He's gonna have to do something fancy here. He's gonna have to try to rescue Armand, or does he have access to Purify?
Kenny's mom. I mean, not Kenny. Yeah. Judy's
Stuck
mom
inside
has
for tier 2.
Purify. Yeah. Still stuck on my mind. Does he have Purify? Yeah, he does. He's going
for it. He's doing it. He's doing it.
Purify should heal that. Purify heals a decent amount of status elements. There are some that he can't heal. He's spamming it.
So I guess he's gonna try twice in case it doesn't work. I've never used Purify, so
oh,
sure it's like
it didn't work.
Percentage chance of
it doesn't. It didn't heal it. He'll.
Of all the phases to happen, this isn't the worst, because phase 2 only has 4 attacks.
Yeah, he got risk on one. He doesn't have a choice.
Get a little combo there with the triple double shot. This might do some LP damage at least. Yeah, it did the LP damage. So yeah,
It's something.
I have no parameter for how well Judy usually goes, so I'm just gonna say this is perfect. Okay, Armand got up by himself, so not a big deal.
Oh, the odds of that happening is not real. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen to someone. It's not rare. Trust me, it's not rare.
Oh, for that dap.
Yeah, it's not rare at all. Him casting a status element is not rare.
Yeah, it's one of his, well, we can get into that, I guess. Whenever Chaos attacks, he chooses between rank 1 through 4, and depending on which rank it chooses, it'll be a different moveset. And status ailments are in pretty much all tiers, so there's a good chance, I think it will be like 1 in 8 chance each time he attacks of him doing a status ailment attack. Depending on if his wings are open or closed, it might affect his move list.
He has got to get out of his phase as soon as possible.
You can reduce chances of status effects by increasing your endurance stat. It's like the 3rd stat you want to increase on your main reverse delta user. Yeah, this phase is lasting a while.
There's a panel that counters status elements as well. I forget the name of it.
Status element, something. It was like Iron Body or something. I can't remember.
What's the name, got it? Big guy. Yeah.
So it should be pretty close to. Okay, yeah, we're going into the 3rd phase. 3rd phase is the shortest. Oh, this is the 4th phase. I didn't even notice.
Oh.
Alright, he's doing better than we thought.
Yeah. Everyone is alive. No one has a stats element.
The big thing here is how much LP Armand has.
Yeah,
the LP phase he increases back to 20,000 health, so you need to do a lot of damage to get back to the point where you can do LP damage with people that aren't Armand.
Another thing is he has to hit with Bone Crusher, or else he'll be eating 1,000 damage.
You need to immediately get Bone Crusher off on this guy, which is not happening here.
Yeah. He's going in.
So the final phase has the chance to do 7 attacks. depending on which rank it rolls, it will consume more attacks. If he rolls rank 4, it will consume 3 attacks, for instance, so he can only do up to 3 rank 4 attacks in a single turn, whereas he can do 7 rank 1 attacks. The rank 1s are almost always Raven Blade, I believe, so you'll see a whole bunch of Raven Blade here.
He loves spinning it. Also, if you don't have Bone Crusher, there's also a knee type move that lowers defense. I forget what it's called.
I can't remember either.
Yeah.
So you can either use Bone Crusher or Drag Down if you're just talking about staves. Drag Down is the level 2 spark ability off of the standard staff move. It has a higher accuracy, but you have to hit the battle reel to use it, so there's a bit of a trade-off. Also, it's easier to have a staff with the block ability if you're going for Drag Down. And block is important because it gives you a 30% chance of blocking attacks, a base rate. So he's getting some time lapses here. And the battle reel runs at 30 frames per second because this whole game does. Each single element on the panel is on screen for 3 frames, so there's a 1/10 of a second window to hit the right frame or the right panel that you want. So it's not the hardest trick, but doing it consistently is tricky. Didn't quite get the triple.
He is doing a lot of Raven Blade, and it's really bad.
Even the strongest magic
Raven Blade is bad if you don't have Bone Crusher. Has he done Bone Crusher yet?
He has, but he still has a high chance of dealing damage. Even
Yeah,
with
it's doing for 399. And 399 damage is, I believe it's 399. It's the threshold before the enemy has a much higher chance of doing LP damage.
Oh yeah. Pretty soon he'll be doing over 1,000 damage to one person.
The good thing is that Judy's chaos has a really low combo rates. So.
Yeah. Unless like a couple of your people is dead and you just leave him as and he'll pretty much combo the crap out of you.
Yeah. So, like we said, this guy has 20,000 health, and he also has 20 LP, which is less than the main form or the first form, but still a decent chunk. The main purpose of the reverse delta user is ideally to just go all the way and kill chaos, but more realistically, just to do enough damage that the bow users can start doing LP damage consistently. And in this route, I believe you also rely on the gun a bit to do LP damage.
Yeah. You rely on the combo with it. Well, no. If you're good, you combo with it.
Going for double, triple. Chaos was kind and allowed the combo to happen. So we'll see how much LP damage this does. 5, that's really good. You have to give up hope just yet. Armand is still alive.
I know, right? I'm so used to him dying.
Armand isn't supposed to still be alive at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, overkill. Well, this might rectify that situation.
Yeah, because Armand been taking LP damage like only good.
Whoa. Oh, he's still up. Oh, the Raven Blade on Armand. Still in there.
He's still alive. Hey.
Armand is invincible. He's the Zosma of the SaGa.
There's some things I can't take. Can't take a 3 messages to the face.
He can survive one. He's the only one that survives with 3 messages. Exactly. Alright, so we're just gonna try to do as much LP damage as we can. Chaos was less kind, he didn't allow the reverse delta combo to occur.
He didn't combo with Armand first.
Yeah, he's going for the double. That relies on Chaos using hold to get the reverse delta, which is unlikely, so
He is down.
the risky move, we'll see how it plays off. So Armand is down, we're officially in the do LP damage with a single character.
And officially in YOLO zone.
You try to rescue people that fall just so that you have more moves to combo with and you just don't pollute the field with corpses. This is bad, there's 2 corpses on the field.
Yeah, 2 corpses. It ought to be 3 soon.
Yeah. You don't want 2 corpses on the field because you can only rescue 1 at a time. And also, each corpse takes up an action. So we succeeded. We succeeded in rescuing Armand. There's still father.
Weighs like a ton.
Father weighs a ton.
No, not the father.
Grandfather?
Joseph, he's gonna die.
Oh, who's the father?
The guy right there that's laying on the ground here.
Okay, yeah, it's like.
Grandpa, he's pretty much gonna die. His name is Joseph, if I remember correctly. Grandpa.
So even though Armand's dead and his things look weak, this isn't the end. We did enough damage that other people can do LP damage. Especially if they combo. You really want to get bow users out there and comboing. I guess Grandfather is used here just because he's more or less expendable, so get some more damage off before the bow users get in. Okay, Grandpa's dead. Two corpses on the field. Roy's the easiest to rescue, so it'd be good for him to die next. Because Roy will always weigh 0, so he's always simple to rescue. So we got some combos here.
Father stats element?
No?
I just want to saw a stats element on me. No, he must have been dead.
Ooh, that's a lot.
5.
So Roy's gonna die. It's over for Roy. He's not our boy. Luckily, we can save him relatively easily. But we're running out of people to send out there to be sacrificed. We'll see how this plays out. Things are looking a little grim, but I still believe. We got the triple-double. That's decent. 2 LP damage. Alright, we're getting there.
Oh, she's dead. No, yes, without a doubt.
She's got a lot of health.
Oh, only one. Now 2.
And now 3. Oh, only 2. Ah, it was enough to take her out there. Hate to see that kind of thing happen. Now we're getting to the point where Judy will be the only one left alive, and that's when it's full on die or be killed, because if Judy runs out of LP, it's game over, and that's why you save her for last. 1. Ooh, alright, here we go.
Yep.
It's time. He's going for the rescue.
Why?
It's a risky move. Let's see how it plays out.
That's pretty risky, because he's going to combo.
It's gonna be really, 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 really close.
Stop the back of the call. There's no more reversed out this hit, so it's all about the YOLO.
Kill. Six. 7.
That didn't sound good.
Oh,
It's over!
8, 9.
So, yeah, Chaos, someone in chat said 5 Raven Blades in a row. Yep, that is representative of how Chaos could be.
Oh, shoot.
Hate to see that kind of thing happen. But we got to show off the Chaos fight.
Yeah, that's
Better than
like that's the
dying at birds.
entirety of the Chaos fight, basically. I was
Basically,
probably
what happens?
I was 2 LP off maybe. So if I had hit
Yeah, it was really close.
if I had hit one of the reverse deltas I missed early on, that would have been okay. But yeah, that's Unlimited Saga for you. How much time is left on the estimate, or have I gone over?
You've gone over it by 5, but no
Alright.
biggie.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I showed off. I said I had to do what I wanted to do, which is show off Unlimited Saga. But I definitely don't.
Certainly did.
Definitely don't have another
More ways than
time.
one.
Don't have enough time for another attempt. So yeah, that was very well representative.
So look forward to Unlimited Saga tomorrow.
I look forward to the finale.
Where we beat him. The finale.
Yeah. Video game. Yeah, Crossraven is correct. That boss is very rough. But yeah, that's basically it. So look
It's fun
forward.
to commentate.
Yeah, Chaos is a fun fight. Despite the stuff that happens, Chaos is a fun fight. But yeah.
The final phase is really fun, even though it's full of despair.
Yeah. Alright, look forward to Romancing Saga 3. It'll be a fun video game.
Thanks for watching Unlimited Saga.
Thanks for watching the disaster.